As a Christian, you look at that and you say, there's no sin hidden from God.
All right. Welcome to another Atheist Savvy Cocktails with Christians. I'm lucky enough to sit down with Rey Parra from Sacred Warrior, and you're doing Worldview too with George Ochoa at this point in time, right?
Correct. That's right.
And any other projects that I don't know about?
I did 2 albums with Deny the Fallen.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's
No,
it's
not.
more it's more, you know what it is? It's way different than anything I've done. It's harder metal,
Okay,
a lot of growling in stuff. And
nice.
yeah, I did it with me and John Johnson, who was our second guitar player in Warrior.
Okay,
And we did
cool.
2 records. Good stuff, man. Good
I'll have
stuff.
to check it out. But
Yeah.
thank you, man, for doing the show, and I
My
appreciate it.
pleasure, man.
And so, give me a little background on when Sacred Warrior first started, where you guys were from, kind of how the band evolved. Were you guys always wanting to be a Christian band, or just kind of you guys fell into it? Kind of give me the history of Sacred Warrior.
Sure, man. Sure. So prior to Warrior, Tony Velasquez and myself and Bruce, we had a band called Nomad.
Okay.
We were a secular band. We were doing like Michael Schenker and Scorpions and stuff like that. And things were going good, man. We started getting pretty popular. I grew up listening to Kiss and Van Halen and,
Yeah.
Ozzy and that stuff like that. And we put this band together and we started playing parties. And before you knew it, we were like, everybody was asking, hey, play our party, play our party.
Yeah.
And then we're
And where
doing,
were you guys located?
this was in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So this was in Chicago. And things were going great, man. And that went on for a couple of years, and people started taking notice of us. And I think we had a label looking at us. I'm not good with dates and all that crap, but there was a label looking at us. And Bruce was working for this guy, Glenn Mueller, who was a Christian. And he was painting for him, right?
Okay.
Bro, this guy, through a series of events, ended up leading Bruce to the Lord,
Okay.
which is great. And then Bruce came to the band and said, "Hey guys, I can't be in the band anymore because I'm a Christian." And I'm like, "Cool, I'm a Christian too, man." I don't know what it meant to be.
Yeah.
I'm a good guy. Smoke a little weed or this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought, I'm a good Christian. Anyways, so Bruce is like, "Nah, I can't do it." Anyways, long story short, he ended up taking Tony out of the band. We were called Nomad.
Mhm.
So Bruce quits and then Tony quits. And I was so pissed, man, because like I said, we started getting really popular, and we had no intentions on being a Christian band. We wanted to get signed.
Yeah.
We wanted to do shows, and they
You
both
just
quit
wanted to
the
be a
band.
band, a working
Yeah.
band.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. Music's your passion,
Mhm.
and freaking they both quit the band. And then I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So then they started coming to my house and preaching to me. And I'm like, look, I love you guys as my brothers, man. But if you came here to preach at me, get the F out of my house and don't come back. I don't want to hear it. I always felt like, pressure, 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 pressure,
Mhm.
you know. So there was this drama that was going to happen at the church that they were going to. It was called Heaven's Gates and Hell's Flames.
Hmm.
And they invited me to go to it. And they're like, yeah, Tony's pushing, he's like a drug dealer in this drama. And I'm like, all right, I can handle that, because at the time I was selling weed, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right, let's go. So I went there and I was high as a kite, man. I'm in my leather, the long hair and everything. Walked in and place was packed. Only 2 seats available, was right in the front, in the middle, in the center, front row. And I'm like, oh man. Bruce is like, come on, let's go sit down there. I'm like, all right, and I'm walking, I'm checking out all the babes,
Yeah.
and go sit down there. And the drama starts, man. And right from the beginning, you hear all this ruckus, the Jesus is coming down the aisle and they're whipping him. And
Mhm.
it was like so real, right? And then all of a sudden, this song by Dallas Holmes, Rise Again, is playing. And it says, go ahead, drive the nails through my, laugh at me where you stand. And I'm listening to it, being a vocalist. I'm like, oh, wow, it got to me emotionally, and I'm reading it. And They get right in the middle, bro. And the guy falls down with the cross, looks over at me, and I'm like, "Mm," and it hit me, bro. It's like I made that connection, and I just got really emotional. And freaking Bruce puts his arm around me, and he goes, "Go ahead, Bubba, let it out." And I'm like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
And I finally, for the first time, realized the pain that this person named Jesus had endured for me. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I got saved after that, and then we started going to church. And we really didn't want to play music at that time. We wanted to just kind of chill out and
Mhm.
really get close to the Lord. And then the church we were going to, the warehouse church with Pastor Randy, he says, "Hey, this band's coming into town. We need an opener. You guys interested?" And we're like, "Wow, we haven't played anything." And, he's like, "Well, put something together." And we're like, "All right." So we did. And we're like, "Who is it?" He said, "It was White Cross."
Oh,
We're
okay.
like, all right, that's cool." We got together, we did the set. We're doing our sound check, and Caesar Kalinowski
Mhm.
was there, who owned the label that White
Yeah.
Cross was on. And he, after our sound check, came in the dressing room and said, "I want to sign you guys right now. 5 years, 5 records." And we're like,
And was this Sacred
uh,
Warrior at that point in time? You
no,
no? Okay.
no, we weren't even Sacred Warrior yet.
Okay.
We were just, we were, but without Steve, if
Okay.
that makes any sense. And long story short, we waited and listened, did some research into Caesar and see what he was doing. And during this time of us waiting, then Steve comes along. He joins the band. Now we form Sacred Warrior. We start writing some tunes. And then shortly after that, we decided to go ahead and sign with him,
Yeah.
and it was 5 years, 5 records. And I don't even remember the deal we got, but for us, we're baby Christians, and we wanted to get out there. And our first tour actually was with Res Band, which was great because
Mhm.
those guys are, Res.
Yeah, I know Red Band.
And yeah, and they were the only band to this day, even since then, that treated us the way they wanted to get treated.
Nice.
Whatever they ate, we ate. Their sound, we had sound. Their lights, it was all legit, and that kind of set the pace for us to when we started headlining and would bring supporting bands. We
Mhm.
were giving them the same sound and lights and da da da
Yeah.
da. Anyways, long story short, first record comes out, and then we just kept writing and going from there.
Um, White Cross. What album would that tour have been?
That was with what the one that has that song, "Enough, enough, enough is enough." That song. I don't know
Okay.
if you,
Okay.
I
Not,
can't
not Hammer.
remember.
I think it's Hammer and Steel. That would have been about 86, 87.
Um,
Maybe before that.
no, it was before that.
Was before that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because this
There's
was,
two White Cross albums that, like, me growing up in the church. My parents were Pentecostal, Assembly of God,
yeah. Mhm.
and you know, obviously when I was a kid, the first bands I really, got into were like, Petra and Carmen and
Oh yeah.
that kind of stuff. But then when I found Striper, that's what changed it for me.
Mhm.
So that was '86. So that I don't want to say just hair metal, but that glammy, hair metal was the flavor.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
So
for me it was Striper and
yeah,
Saint. That was my two big bands, Striper and Saint. I love Saint.
I always see posts of saying, I mean, they've been around that long. I'd never heard of them.
Kidding me.
Oh,
Oh, check out my podcast with Saint on there.
okay,
I just released it a few months ago.
okay,
What a funny on my podcast. I do a lot of live and I do a lot of things, but I'm known for picking on people. I make
right on.
lots of laugh, because I like to have fun, man. I don't want to
Yeah.
be just, and watch that one. We laughed so much, but they're still around, and they actually have Eli Princeton singing for them now.
Who's that?
So Eli originally was with yeah, I shouldn't have said nothing because I can't remember the name of his band.
Right.
But he was in Warrior after I left.
Okay,
He did one record with them,
okay,
and then now he's with Sing. I can't remember what this band was, but great vocalist.
right on.
Got that '80s, perfect fit for Saint.
Okay. I'll have to check
Yeah,
it out.
check
I
him
always
out.
see, promotions from Rocks Records, Saint. And I thought they were a new band. I mean, I had no idea. But I mean,
Mm,
by the time, like, going to the Christian bookstore and buying stuff at the time, like, I liked a couple White Cross records. I thought they were fun.
yeah,
I dug you guys more because you guys, to me, reminded me a lot more of like Maiden and Priest, you know?
right.
Yeah,
Right.
just the hair metal kind of stuff. You guys were more of the power metal kind of stuff.
Yeah, correct. And Queensryche.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I was a huge fan of more of that power metal style than I was,
Hmm.
as I was getting older. Like Striper was cool, but I never got into bands like Guardian. I couldn't stand them. They were Holy Soldier. Um, I just got done doing Dale Thompson from Bride a few weeks ago, and that's going to be posted soon. I dug
Yeah.
like the first three Bride records, like
Right.
Live to Die, Silence is Madness, But then, as somebody who, I grew up in Southern California, around punk rockers and Slayer and that kind
Oh
of,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what my heart was. I wanted to find that kind of stuff. So then when I found, Vengeance and the Crucified and Deliverance and all those were the bands
Believer.
found them. Hair metal didn't exist to me.
Right.
I
Sure.
still,
Yeah.
I still listen to, like I just drew on. I think my favorite Sacred Warrior record is probably Rebellion. I think that's my favorite.
Really. Oh, good deal, man.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song on
Ooh,
that record?
I couldn't tell, man, because I don't. I always have this conversation when I listen to an album. I don't just listen to a song. I want to hear the whole album from front to start because I want to gauge the album. You know what I mean?
That's me.
Yeah, I I was just having this conversation last night with my brother-in-law while we were swimming. He's like, "Well, I listen to songs." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's why I'm a huge vinyl collector, and I like vinyl because it forces
Oh,
you to
nice.
listen to the whole record.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can skip it, but it's a pain in the ass to skip. So,
Yeah.
sometimes like you find those hidden on those records. So, man, just that record, Rebellion, to me is it just resonates. All of it does.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Master's Command, I dig that one. Like you guys' catalog, I can still listen to it today and be like, I still like what they do, but like,
Hmm.
you throw on, like One Bad Pig, and I was like, oh man, this does not hold up over time, no matter how
Yeah.
nice the guys are, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially growing up around real punk rock music,
Yeah.
turn them on, I was like, oh, it was cool as a 12-year-old kid, you know what I mean? As a 15
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
going back on, no, no, but yeah. So then by that time, just I dug more extreme metal than I did the more glammy hair stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Even like nowadays, I'm more into like, I don't know, Slipknot.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I just
yeah,
love it, and obviously I'm still a big Pantera fan. And,
yeah.
I
The
like the
first
heavy
hair
stuff, man.
record was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But once Phil kind of went off and started being a weirdo, like I don't like what was the other band he did with Hank 3
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ritual. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I was never a bluesy guy. That was never my thing. So, but also
Yeah.
he's notoriously throwing up the Kyles and just he's just not a good dude. So by that
Yeah,
time I'm
man.
just like I'll still listen to like one Pantera record.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Vulgar Display of Power is perfect from start.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
There's not there's not a piece of fat on that record. It's all meat. You can eat all of it.
Uh, I love how you said that. I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, there's nothing. It's like Appetite for Destruction.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But some of the better stuff wasn't the radio stuff. It was the B sides that
Hmm.
nobody listened to.
Right. Right.
So that's why, like I said, I'm more of I throw the album on, I want to listen to the whole record and
Yeah.
gauge that record other than, oh, this record's good because it had one badass song.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question. Did that hurt the palm of your hands real bad?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just saw that. I'm like, no freaking way, bro.
And they're old too. And people say they don't stay, man. You got to know how to do them. These are, shoot, ooh, 12, 15 years old now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. My palm swelled out to about 2 inches. I couldn't grab anything. I mean, I
I
lived
bet.
vampire for 2 days. It just hurt. I mean,
Oh,
hurt.
yeah.
Hot
Yeah.
water hurt. Cold water hurt. I couldn't bend my fingers. Yeah. Luckily, I was getting all this stuff when I was young and still like Brazilian. Now I'm almost,
Yeah. Yeah. How old are you now?
I'm almost 50.
50. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, ah, I still have a back piece that needs finished. And I'm just like, I just don't want to. I don't want to sit there and I hate the pain and I hate healing it now. So
I gotta tell you though, I'm all tatted up too all over. But my you ever watch Ink Masters?
oh yeah,
Ryan Eternal from Ink Masters. I had him on my podcast.
oh nice,
And he's actually good buddies with my son Dylan.
oh cool,
Yeah, they worked at the same parlor.
Oh, your
But
son's a tattooer?
my other son's a tattooist.
Oh, cool.
Chris, yeah, Dylan was the shop manager, but he wasn't an artist.
Nice.
My other
Yeah,
son, Chris,
I'm a
is.
body piercer. I
Oh,
own a shop.
really?
Yeah, yeah. I own a
Oh,
shop here
that's
in Kansas
great.
City. Yeah. I've been a piercer since 1993, so about 32 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, even though
But
I
he
don't have to
was,
piercings anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was telling me that I'm 62 now.
Yeah.
And it seems like now I just got this one. I don't know if you can see this.
Mhm.
My son Chris just did that about a week ago.
Oh, nice.
And God, that hurt. I've had them all over
Yeah.
armpits and everything. And I'm like, good. But now that I'm getting older,
Yep.
they hurt a lot more.
I know.
And Ryan told me, he said, you know what? He says, that's why I try to tell people when you're young, get as much ink as you want, because when you get older, your body loses its skin loses elasticity and
Hmm.
it's more painful.
Yep.
And I'm like, boy, I know that's true, man.
Yeah.
That is, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think, shoot, the last time I got tattooed was, uh, oh, I just got a little banger. I was out in LA last year, and I'm a huge fan of this band called Psychotic Youth. Uh,
Hmm.
the guy, Jason Brown, he owns Suicidal Tendencies Tattoo Shop.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a huge fan of Suicidal is my favorite band of all time. I love
Really? Yeah, they're great, man. Yeah.
and his band is very much like that. He grew up with Mike Muir and all those guys in Venice, and so I went and got a little banger by him, and it only took an hour, but I was just like, I had 2 hours to kill before my flight home, so I was like, I got to get this done. I got to get to the airport, and I mean, it's only like this big, but man, it just hurt. Just like everyone's like, are you done? I'm like, I'll get the back finished someday, but it's going to be in very small ATM. I'll
Yeah.
finish it at some point before I die, hopefully. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have hair now, but I have my head tattooed, throat.
Oh, wow.
It's on my lip, my palms, my armpits.
Okay, yeah, you know about the bits. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
come on. Chest, stomach, ribs. Ribs for me are the worst. Ribs were and like down by the kidney where the back fat is. Oh, terrible.
Dude, my son, who's the artist, Chris, he just did one on himself on his ribs. And I asked him, I said, did that hurt? He goes, not as bad as I thought it would. He says, when you tat yourself, it doesn't seem to hurt as bad. I was like, wow, all right. But I mean, it's a big piece like that, man. I think he just does it on, I don't get that, man. But it's perfect.
I did, as a piercer, I did a lot of my own piercings. Like I did my own tongue when I had it pierced, my labret, a few others, you know what I mean? And just when you're in control, you kind of like, you get what he's saying, but it still fucking hurts.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. No matter what anybody tells you, it still hurts. Yeah.
Exactly. So your first album, you guys got signed. What was your first album for Sacred Warrior?
Rebellion.
Was it Rebellion? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what was the scene like in Chicago? Because I know growing up in LA, man, we had a really vibrant Christian metal scene, with all the bands,
Yeah. Yeah,
what was Chicago like?
it was it was okay for the Christian scene. There was a lot of clubs. We did get asked to play a lot of clubs, even though we were a Christian band, because of our style and our sound, and because obviously we weren't just a cheesy old band. We were actually a decent band.
Yeah.
So we were getting booked in clubs, but Thirsty Well and Malos and stuff like that. But it seems like if we went more into downtown, it was more, a bigger scene than in the local area where we were. I mean, it was growing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nothing like in LA and stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah. What were some of were you able to play, even though being a Christian band, could you guys play with a lot of the secular bands coming touring through or whatnot?
Yeah, we played with believe it or not, we played with the Guess Who.
Really?
If you can imagine, yeah,
Okay.
go figure, right?
Yeah.
But really, nobody really to speak of big name bands coming out that we really played with. We did play with Fates Warning.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, yeah, and they really liked our band. They were a cool bunch of guys.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really, man. It was kind of not really pay to play, but you really had to beg to
Yeah.
get some gigs. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you know,
That was kind of the sad thing I've learned through talking with all the guys, from the LA bands, whatnot, that, like the Zaris and, the Roxy and the Whiskey, like pay to play kind of thing. Like, you can book a show, but you better, be able to sell the tickets if you want to make any money. you know.
Yeah.
So hearing that, I was like, oh man, that sucks. You know, that
Yeah.
the club, you know, because obviously you're making probably not Christian shows, but we're making a ton of money off of the booze because
Oh yeah.
'cause I grew up in Ventura, which is about an hour north of Hollywood, and I started doing security for a living when I was like 17. And this place I worked at, the Ventura Theater, we would get outsourced to other clubs if they needed bouncers for shows. So I got
Oh
to
yeah.
shows at the Roxy, the Whiskey, the Troubadour, the Palladium, Hollywood Bowl, all sorts of cool places.
Yeah, the Rock. We played the Roxy with Striper actually, but it
Nice.
wasn't not Sacred Warrior. It was actually Worldview.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I was with Worldview, we played. Yeah, that was pretty cool. It
Nice.
was a nice place. You know,
Yeah.
packed
You guys
out.
ever like relocate, or were you guys always strictly Chicago based?
No, we were all strictly and always still. You know, like even like now, the guys are still in Chicago, Aurora, West Chicago, Naperville area,
Mhm.
and I'm in Florida. And you know, Fear Not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know Larry's with us now in Sacred Warrior.
Oh,
The
really?
guitar,
Okay.
yeah. So Larry from Fear Not is now our second guitarist, and
Right
he's
on.
in Oklahoma, and I'm in Florida, and so
Yeah.
we're still really a Chicago-based band. But it's really cool how we rehearse, though, bro. We rehearse on our computers. Me here, Larry in Oklahoma, and the guys in Chicago, and we watch each other, and we
Mhm.
sing and play. I mean, it's Steve Watkins is freaking genius. The
That's
way he
awesome.
set everything up for us, yeah, yeah. But
That's super
it's
cool.
so when we do get together, it's like we've been together because we're rehearsing with our computers,
Yeah.
and it feels like you're right there. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. Yeah,
I think that's a really cool way to, you know, in this day and age where you don't have to have a band practice space and all live in the same town to jam and work out your music.
that's right.
You know, I dug all during COVID all those bands that were like, you know, coming together and doing like mishaps of songs, and you know, like this guy was in, you know, Tampa, this guy was in Washington, but they still came together and created
Yeah,
music. It was really, I dug that. That was probably the
yeah,
only fun
yeah,
thing about, you know, COVID that happened.
yeah. One of the only cool things that came out of that for sure.
You know. So when you became a Christian, I mean, I was a Christian, or yes and no. I kind of walked away from the faith when I was about 17, 18. As I got older and just started reading and just seeing how I perceived the church to be, and how I perceived the Bible to be, and then started reading other religions and whatnot. For me, it just didn't make sense to keep putting on that face and going to church when it just something I didn't was not in my heart anymore. I didn't believe it.
Right, right.
So, but for you guys with Sacred Warrior, when you guys were first starting off, I mean, were, were you did you consider your band more of a ministry or just a band?
So we were, I would say, and still are probably one of the few bands that really considered it a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
If you read our lyrics, bro, and even I have this conversation with the guys sometimes, kind of like, guys, we're a little too Christianese with our lyrics, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the thing that we felt was the direction we were going as we're writing. And I wrote most of that lyric wise, me and Bruce. I would sit in one room writing lyrics to the music, and they'd sit in the other room and record music. And but it just seemed like because it was so new and so fresh, it was really all right. So who can we reach with this song, and who can we reach with that song? And it became a part of who we were, right? So, and ultimately, it was like every song just had a message, a strong message of salvation. It wasn't necessarily a turn or burn kind of. We're going to scare you into serving Jesus, and
Yeah.
you know, it was more, dude. This is what He's doing for us. This is the direction that we see us, and if you happen to see this, you can have that. You know, and you know, we got a lot of slack from some people, and we got a lot of praise from some people. You know, we weren't trying to be like, you know, like for me, I can't stand TV evangelists.
Yeah.
You know, if you will give me $50, I will answer your prayer.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, we're not like that.
Yeah.
For us, it's more just this is our experiences as Christians, the things that we've seen God do in our lives, and the things that we've seen Him do in other people's lives
Yeah.
through us or through the ministry or whatever. You know, but again, not taking any of the credit for it, just sharing what we felt. You know what I'm saying? And even to this day, if you talk to any one of us guys in the band Sacred Warrior, we still, dude, I still have my prayer life. I still trust in Jesus. I don't live in fear because, the word says fear God, because, it's not like that for me or any of us. For us, it's more, we have just seen what he has done through us and in us that we joyfully serve him. Example, my wife. I have a great relationship with my wife. I love being with her.
Mhm.
I love serving her.
Yeah.
I love bringing her coffee in the morning, So it's that kind of thing,
Mhm.
and it's not something I have to force myself to do. It just comes out natural.
Totally. But I think love is a great thing no matter what. But
Yeah,
but I don't think that necessarily has to be a Christian ethic because I've been,
you're right.
you know, our anniversary is September. We've been together, married 26 years, and we've been
Yeah.
together 28 years. You know what I mean? And because I love that person, I do it, like you do. You want to make your person happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You want
dude.
that person to make you happy at the same time. I think marriage, obviously marriage will always be a give and take kind of thing.
Sure, of course.
I mean, like I said, I'm not discounting what you say. Just when people have, are always putting the Christian aspect into just what we do as humans and what we should do as humans, that
Hmm.
that's where it cheapens the Christianity part of it.
Right, right.
I mean, it's like, man, whether I'm an atheist, I'm a Buddhist, whatnot. As long as we're living good lives and doing the best things that we can for humanity, for you, for myself, for our family and friends, I think for me that's ultimately the path that is more for me more
Hmm.
more satisfactory and fulfilling than the Bible. You know what I mean? Because there's
Yeah,
so much messed up stuff in the Bible that I can't get,
true. Yeah.
and I just can't. I always I've said this to a lot of my guests. It's like they're like, well, what if you're wrong? I go, okay, that I could be wrong. I'm not saying
Hmm.
I have the right answer, but I'm saying you definitely, in my opinion, don't have the right answer anyway.
Right.
I mean, faith is an intangible thing.
Exactly. You know
You know,
what's crazy?
yeah, if you were at faith, that's great. I have
Yeah.
no problem with I have no problem with religion. I have problem with religious people.
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna just say.
Yeah.
Before I say that, let me say this. It's weird because, like you said, you don't have to be a Christian to have the right morals or the right goals or the right this or that. You know who Todd LaTorre is from Queensrÿche.
Yeah, yeah.
He's an atheist,
Mhm.
and him and I have developed a great friendship.
Nice.
I respect him
Mhm.
for who he is, and he respects me for who I am.
Yeah.
And I actually told him on my podcast, I said, Todd, you know what? Just in talking to you, I feel like you have more correct moral in you than a lot of Christians that I know.
Exactly.
So you're talking about, the word, you don't discredit the word, but the problem is not the word, it's the interpretation of the word. You know what I'm saying? Because
I
you and
do.
I can read the same thing and you're going to say it says this, and I'm going to say it says that. Who's right
Yeah.
and who's wrong?
Exactly. And
And
how can if the word is so here, how can it
Mhm.
be interpreted so in so many thousands of different ways between
Right,
sects of people?
right, right.
So that's
Yep.
where the confusion and the when things don't add up, it's like, all right, this doesn't make sense. I mean, if you look in, the first four books of the New Testament, there's four different descriptions of the resurrection of Christ. There's
Mhm.
the angels in the tomb. There's one where the angels out of the tomb. There's one
Right.
where the angel meets him on the road, and then there's one where there's the dead of Jerusalem rise, and there's zombies. I'm like, okay, so which one?
Yeah.
And that's in the same book. You have four
Right.
different stories. So
Right. Right.
saying, all right, I definitely believe Josh, Matthew's the right one, or Luke's the right one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think for me, I mean, I think as I just have a very humanistic worldview where as long
See
as
what you did
we're
there.
treating each other as decent humans and working for the best for our society, for everybody, it's going to make us better people and a better place to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't think, and I'm not even. And when people say you always pick on Christians, well, it's not that I'm picking on Christians. That's my background was pick Christianity. I wasn't
Mhm.
Catholic. I know a bunch about Catholicism, which I think is crazy too.
Right.
But I think the same people that are Mormons are I mean, the stories are just batshit crazy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
Scientology. I don't think anybody has it right. So
Right, right.
it's
Dude,
not.
Jehovah's,
Yeah,
they won't even come in your house. They'll stand at your door and you, hey, come on in, let's have a cup of coffee. Oh, I can't enter the house of a sinner.
yeah. But you know what I heard, and it's so
Yeah.
weird. But if you ask them, like at the door, if they come in, they're like, if you ask them to do you something, they're obliged to. Like if you're like, hey, can you like take my trash out to the driveway? They'll do it for you. I just
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, same here. So I'm like, I heard that from from another Mormon, and he's like, yeah, if we go to the door and we can't come in, but if somebody is like, hey, can you like do me a favor? I guess they're obliged to do it. I don't know if they do it, but I mean,
Wow.
yeah. So I've been waiting. We used to get a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses around here. Now we don't. So I'm with you. I've been waiting. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
carnage washing, man. Let's see what you got.
Yeah. Hey man, can you mind I got the lawn guy coming tomorrow. You mind cleaning up my dog crap?
Exactly. So
Oh my gosh, man. I want to try that.
yeah. I
Not
just
the dog crap, but maybe the trash.
Yeah, I just don't think anybody has the correct finger on the correct pulse of what's happening.
Right, right. And you know what, man? The Bible says, let every man work out his salvation with his own fear and trembling, right?
No,
That's between you and God. One thing I don't do on my podcast, I don't argue about the Bible.
yeah, no, but
I won't do it.
I like
No. I know that.
yeah,
I like what we're doing here. I love it, but I'm just saying on my podcast, I would, if it gets brought up, it's brought up like this.
yeah,
I'm not gonna, because like you said, there's there's one Bible, but there's so many interpretations of it. I know what works for me.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And for me as a Christian, for me, what I feel my obligation is just to share what's worked for me,
mhm,
and it's up to you to decide whether you want to believe it or not. I could tell you, hey man, if you buy Shiba Inu today, it's going to go up to $3 tomorrow. You're going to be a millionaire. That's
yeah,
up to you to believe it or not.
exactly,
You know what I'm saying? And I already know it's not gonna,
yeah,
but I know it's moving a little. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's
You
just
can have the creepy crawl, but I mean,
yeah.
and that's I just think the I said this to somebody when I can't remember who I was talking to. I said it, and I dig a lot of what Jesus said. A lot of what Jesus said, I'm right on with his love and his philosophy. But I said this to another guy in my podcast. I'm like, if the body of Christ were real, it's diseased right now, and they need to find the right antidote to get the disease out of the body of Christ.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of it in there. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I mean it's the body of Christ, in my opinion, is not working as a cohesive unit because this person, I met Christians. No, the weirdest I met two. They came to the shop and got tattooed. They were two Christian Republicans, and I was like, oh, two gay Christian Republicans. And I was like, okay. I'm like, it didn't make sense to me, but I'm like,
Yeah,
as long as you're happy, that's all I care about.
yeah.
But
Yeah, dude.
it
That's
shocked me. I was like, all right, but you know,
yeah,
I just want the best for everyone in society to do the best we can, you know. And if you want to have your belief system, great. Just as long as your belief system doesn't bleed over to my freedom, we're
hmm
fine.
yeah, yeah. And Todd actually said that too from Queensrÿche.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. He told me we were talking. He says, I had asked him because you hear crap on the street, right? I said,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
Todd, I said, I heard on several occasions that you don't like Christians. He goes, so let me tell you the truth to that. He goes, I hate Christians that are fools, that don't want to hear what I have to say, that feel like they're the only religion, they're the only ones that you want me to hear what you have to say, but you're so arrogant that you won't listen to what I have to say.
I agree 100%.
He said, that's the kind of Christians I hate.
Yeah.
He goes, I love people. I love people of every. And I said, that's really cool. And the more him and I spoke, I got to really see his heart, man. And the dude is solid, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't believe in God.
Yeah.
I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell.
Same here. Yeah. I'm right
Yeah.
with that guy. We're on
Yeah.
the same page. Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I just believe that you have to be a good person. You got to be the best person that you can and do well unto others and da da da. He goes, I'm not worshiping demons, and like a lot of people think, oh, atheists, he's burning candles,
I
and
know. Yeah, I've got.
sacrificing dogs, and
Yeah, yeah. I've had, and that's like, were you friends with Roger Martinez at all?
I was
Okay.
real good friends.
Yeah, you heard he passed away.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did, me and Jimmy and George and Larry Farkas did a remembrance thing on the show.
Oh,
And
you did?
yeah, it's up.
Oh,
We can
cool,
talk about Roger and whatnot. And
cool, man.
it's like, all these people put Roger, and I think people like me and even people like you, in certain boxes that they have to fit into.
Right,
And that's not the thing. I mean, most people. I mean, I'm not saying that Roger wasn't had issues and had his moments, and we're not.
right,
Who hasn't as a human?
right, right.
Crazy, or a little bit angry, or a little bit bitter at some time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But the day he passed, it was just it just really annoyed me, was that nobody could just talk about the man. They had to be like snarky comments about, well, now burning in hell where you're going to be the rest of your life. And I'm like, you were supposed to love this guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
He was your hero, or your idol, or
Yeah, dude.
who did something in your life the same way Secret Warrior did something in my life at the time that it came to music.
Yeah.
This is
Yep.
our first time. I've never got to see Secret Warrior. This is the first time you and I have ever looked at each other and had a conversation.
Yep.
That
Yep.
didn't mean
Yep.
that you didn't do something when I was 10, 11, 12, 13 years old.
Right.
The music was important.
Sure.
Music is still important. The message isn't to me, but the music is.
Right. 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 Yeah. No, I know it's unfortunate, the whole Roger thing. Him and I had a falling out. He had reached out to me after when he walked away from the church. He called me one day. He said, "Hey, I want to send you this book I'm writing or whatever." And I said, "What is it?" He said, "It's Jesus and Tunic Boy." And I'm like,
Oh, yeah. I
"You remember
forgot
that?"
about that. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he
And
ever finished it.
yeah, I don't think he did. And he sent
Yeah.
me a script of it, and I started reading it, and it just, for me, I was offended because it was just really bashing on Jesus, right? And I called him up and I said, "Roger, I don't want to read this shit." And I quote,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, you FMPUSSY, what are you this and that and that?" And I went off on him um, in text,
Mhm.
because at that moment we were texting, and I forgot what I said about him. I said something to him, but he quoted me, but then he threw on a bunch of other crap on top of that and posted it all over Facebook. "Oh, this is your Christian Rey Parra calling me a pussy, and said that I'm tired of this shit, and da 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 da." Well, I didn't call him that, but
Yeah.
he put on there that I did.
Yeah.
I did say that I didn't want to hear the shit. I said
Yeah.
because I was offended, but it's a word, dude. That's a word,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
And
not,
what happened?
it's not a damnable fucking.
There you go,
No.
bro. Yep. And what happened was, in return, people who know me,
Yeah.
instead of saying, "Wow, Ray's what," no, bro, they're like, "Wow, you know what?" So he's defending the cross, and then I doubt if he said all them things you said, Roger. But then everybody started bagging on him,
Yeah.
and then he really went off, and then just. But that was Roger, man. Roger was an extremist.
Yeah, on either side. When he was,
Yeah.
I know, when he was pastor of Sanctuary, when, like I said,
Hmm.
California, we got to I didn't get to go to Sanctuary a lot, but
Right.
I got to go down 2 or 3 times and hear him preach, and got to see Vengeance play once. But I met George before I met everybody else.
Oh wow, yeah.
So George is the first one to to kind of take me under the wing as a young Christian metalhead when I was like,
Hmm. And you still like George?
yeah, man, yeah. I mean, it was kind of weird because um, through the grapevine, I had heard that he didn't like me very much. And
Really?
yeah, through the grapevine, I had heard. And the Deliverance was playing in Springfield, Missouri last summer, which is only about 2 hours from here.
Yeah.
So the episode didn't turn out well because my camera sound sucked. But I went down there because Deliverance was playing and a bunch of other bands. And I just wanted to I hadn't been to a Christian show in like 25 years.
Oh wow.
30 years. So I went down to film it and talk to the other bands and just kind of see why people are still interested in metal and Jesus and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Would have been a really good episode, but the sound was just atrocious. So, but yeah, so I get there because me and Jimmy are good friends. I've been to Vegas a bunch of times. We hang out with Helen. We go out drinking and dinners, and
Yeah. Jimmy's my boy, man.
yeah, Jimmy's a sweet, sweet man. Love
Yeah.
it. And
Next
so,
time you talk to him, tell him you spoke to his twin brother.
oh,
Him and
yeah,
I.
I told him, I texted him this afternoon. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting to do Ray tonight. I haven't heard back from him yet. He's
Oh,
probably
yeah,
busy,
yeah.
but
Him and I, when we were on tour together, we used to tell everybody we were twin brothers.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's serious. I can totally see it. Yeah, so
Oh, it's great,
that's the
man.
end of the show, and because I've had Jim from the Cruise Fight on the show, I've had
Okay.
Andy on the show, and then Jimmy and George, obviously, and so I had the backstage, and we were going to go have some drinks with them after the show over at their
Hmm.
So I go in the green room, and George is waiting for the dinner and waiting for barbecue and whatnot. And it's funny when Jimmy was making fun of George on the Rogers show, the Remembrance, because George likes to sit like this and kind of lean back and look at you. And
Oh, yeah.
so I come in the room, it's just me and George, and he just kind of looks at me. He's like, I haven't figured you out yet. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know. He's like, either you're either messing with us. I just don't know what you're doing. And I looked at George honestly. I go, look, man. I go, I'm not going to take offense, but if you're calling me a liar about my beliefs, I go, I'm going to take that as an insult. I go, I'm not here messing with anybody. I'm
Right.
yes, I still respect you as a musician and somebody I consider a friend from years ago, even though we hadn't spoken in a long time.
Yeah.
And so he did he did the Roger Memorial show, and he texted me, and he was like, "Man, thank you for doing that." I was like, "Cool, man. I really didn't think you liked me." He's like, "What made you think that?" I'm like, "Because you're kind of standoffish, man. You know." And he's like, "No, dude, we're good, man." He's like, I love your honesty and your heart." He's like, "We're buddies." I'm like, "Cool." I'm like, even if we're not, I don't really would give a shit. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
go
yeah.
through my day, but
I'm
I
just
don't.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking for your approval, but I'm glad that we were able to have that common ground.
Yeah. George, dude, George is a weird cookie, man. I love him. And
Yeah,
sometimes I just want to smack him in the head. George says what he feels.
and I love that,
No, yeah, no filter. And people know that about him.
and I
So people
respect that.
know how to, yeah. And people know how to tech them. It's not like, oh, he said what? No,
Yeah,
people know George is George.
yeah,
And like I said, you love the guy. I love him. Him and I work so good together
that's
in
awesome.
writing in the studio and stuff. But yet sometimes he'll call me and say something. I'm like, why you gotta be such a jerk, George? All in
I
good
don't think
fun,
he's trying to be an asshole. I just think he's so honestly blunt.
Yeah.
He's just like, I got to say what I feel, or it's not going to get.
Yeah.
So
There you
therefore,
go.
I have to say what I got to say and just let it out there, and then whatever happens, happens. And I
Yep.
respect that. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like if you come at me with respect, I'm going to come at you with respect.
Absolutely.
Me and I'm not going to say his name, but I, I've had a couple Facebook arguments because Roger said some things about Ted Kirkpatrick when he passed and Steve Rowe, and
Mhm.
I had to clear it up with the guy because I was like, he was mad at me and wouldn't do the show because I laughed. And I go, that wasn't me laughing like I thought Roger was funny. That was a nervous like, holy shit, he said that. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we kind of we worked it out, but I mean, you know, again, I'm just gonna be brutally honest, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or be cruel about it. But if I can't say what I feel, then I'm lying to myself.
Sure. Yeah.
And same with
Yeah.
anybody. I hope everybody speaks their mind with some at least tact and compassion.
What's funny about that is you'll notice on my podcast, I don't bleep out all the cuss words, just
Yeah,
certain ones here and there, because I don't want people to feel like, man, I can't be myself on this show. And I don't want, this is what I say to people that watch my podcast. My podcast is not for everyone. It's not. I already know that.
I agree.
I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost at 1,000, right?
I got like
But the ones I
400.
have,
Yeah,
yeah, the ones I have, they're faithful. They love it,
yeah,
you know, and they're they know that I may have a guest that might drop a couple S bombs or
yeah,
but I'm not gonna discredit who you are.
yeah,
I brought you on my podcast knowing who you are.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the
I wouldn't
best,
just bring some blind. I had no idea, never heard of you.
yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. So I think our responsibility as podcasters or as whatever you want to call it is to bring the truth, right?
Mhm.
And to let people be who they are, because really we're in the information
Yeah,
business, you and I. you're saying, hey, I'm bringing Ray on just so y'all can see what he's all about.
Yeah.
You're going to bleep out every time I say Jesus or salvation or,
And I'm also
and
not
then
going to judge you for swearing because they're words. That's all they are.
exactly,
You know,
exactly, bro,
they're
exactly.
just words. And, they've actually done studies where they say people that swear a lot honestly have higher IQs than most people, you know?
Oh, really? Yeah. I
So,
need to start cussing it.
yeah, yeah. And I understand that, I think that people in the Christian realm, want to put themselves in a, they don't want to lose their fan base or get criticized or canceled, especially in this
Right.
day and age, because people are just way too sensitive about everything.
Bro, you ain't kidding, man.
It's like just let them say what they want, as long as it's not homophobic, racist, or stupid.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can say stupid stuff. That's fine. But
We
as long
say a
as,
lot of stupid crap on my podcast,
yeah,
believe me.
as long as they're not being a bad human being,
No, dude, no.
yeah, I mean,
One thing for me that I won't put up with is like if you're outright just dogging on Jesus, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because that's me,
totally,
that's what that. But you want to say anything, man, say what you got to say, bro.
yeah.
Dude, I had Giancarlo Floridia on there. You're
Who?
talking about Giancarlo Floridia. He's the premier writer for what record label is that? He writes all of Dawkins stuff. He writes a lot
Oh,
of
cool.
Michael's. Yeah, he writes a lot of stuff for Michael Sweet,
Oh, okay, okay,
Lynch, yeah. Frontiers Records.
okay,
He's the premier writer for them.
okay.
But some of the stuff he said, I was like, wow, bro. And he called me back after we finished the episode. He said, hey, can you take this part out and that part out? Because I feel like I was a little too, I'm like, yeah, yeah, and I took it out because he asked me to.
Yeah,
But, just be yourself.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I get and I know that I've had episodes, especially when I've had Roger on where I maybe had a little bit too much to drink and was a little bit too aggressive and a little bit too maybe I had a bad day and was kind of pissed off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
What I say in a moment should not reflect everything about me as a human being. I mean, that was the
Right.
time I said something. I probably still would agree with what I said. I just could have said it in a different way.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
well, going back to Sacred Warrior, because you guys were on Intense, and then that got sold to Frontline, correct?
Right.
How the hell did you guys end up being in the Sanctuary? Because I mean, I remember getting the tapes, and like you guys are like, like Bob Beeman would be like, and then there's band Sacred Warrior, but you guys were in Chicago, so how did that connect with Sanctuary hook up?
So Caesar and Bob were good buddies.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
And so through a series of events, with us with hanging out with Vengeance and
Mhm.
and Deliverance and all those guys were all sanctuary people.
Yeah.
It kind of all got brought in together. And Caesar had asked Bob if he would listen to us and endorse us
Mhm.
as one of his premier bands that he was backing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that ultimately opened up the door for Bob getting to know us, getting to
Okay.
know our music, and we actually spent some time with him, got to know him, and
Nice.
and he's a huge Warrior fan. Every time I talk to him, he's like,
But
man,
that
I
makes
love
that
Warrior.
makes so much sense because, like I said, I used to see Bob at like the Crucified shows and Deliverance shows. Um, and I've actually, it's funny because like Jimmy reached out to Bob to be on my show, and he has not responded, and I've reached out to Bob to be on the show. He has not responded. Um,
I'll reach out to him.
and I'm not, I don't know the man. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah,
met him a few times, but him and the extreme metal, like him working with you guys and like Guardian and that stuff, that made sense. But when I'd show up, there'd be long haired dudes wearing a Deicide shirt, and he'd be there in the white leather tassels,
yeah.
permed hair.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, just there's a great documentary on Tubi about the East Bay hardcore scene with like Exodus and all that stuff. And they used to attack the posers. You know what I mean? Like they'd show up, kids in like the glam stuff would show up at an Exodus show and those
oh yeah,
beat them up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, and I'm not endorsing that, but I'm just saying like Bob always felt false to me at those extreme shows. Like that really wasn't what he wanted. That's not the music he was ever into, but he was just using sanctuary bands that were playing that music just as a catalyst, where he didn't care about the music. You know what I mean?
Right. So Bob's whole thing was the people.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it wasn't so much the music. He believed in the music, and now is a huge fan of all of it. But for him, it was his open door to be able to get in with those people
Yeah,
and to say, I believe in these people. Um, and you know, with the stripers and all that, he liked all that stuff. But it ultimately opened such a great door for him because so many people to this day are Bobaholics, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, if you will,
yeah,
because the man is so genuine. The guy's never been married. I don't know if he's ever even had a girlfriend, but he's got such a passion for people
yeah.
and God and the music, and he's in my opinion as real as they get. He's like a Glenn Kaiser,
Okay.
as real as it gets.
Like I
The
said,
you know,
I've only met him like once. I saw him at shows, but again,
yeah,
I was a young metalhead. Again, being judgmental against somebody I don't know because I was like,
sure, yeah,
what is this poser doing here? What is this old
yeah,
poser doing here? Like,
that's it, yeah.
yeah, it's like go down to the whiskey and go see Rat. You know what I mean? You know, like why are
Yeah,
you at the country club? You know, seeing the Crucified when they're hardcore punks. You know what I mean?
yeah, man.
You
Oh,
know?
speaking of Rat, I'm in conversations with Stephen Pierce about getting him on my podcast.
Cool.
Stephen Pierce, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be
Now,
cool.
which is funny. Do you know who his famous uncle is?
Rodney Dangerfield.
No.
Who?
The other comic, um, Milton Berle. That's his uncle.
Milton Berle. That's
That's
right. I
who was
heard that.
in the video with
That's
him.
the one in the video. That's right.
Yeah, Milton
That's
Berle
right.
is his
Yeah.
fucking uncle. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
isn't Milton Berle was the one ultimately who introduced him to the people that got him signed on the label, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And Milton Berle knew all the music people, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, I'm not going to quote anybody's life, but like, he had obviously had a hand in helping, but I mean, how are you going to say no to Milton Berle? He was a legend and
Oh yeah.
stage, screen, comedian, everything, man.
Heck yeah, man.
Plus, I heard he was a tripod. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody was always like, stay away from Uncle Milton.
Yeah.
He'll mess you up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
He'll like you big time.
exactly. No, that's cool. Like I, I always dug like I said, I still dig like Rat and like Motley Crue and some
Mhm.
stuff like that. But again, but also good music is good music. It doesn't matter what genre it is.
Bro, and that's it. That's it. You know, if you for me, I like bands that are really just great bands like Bad Omens, Nightwish, you know, Camelot, you know,
Okay.
Slipknot, you know, bands like that that are just they're just great musicians,
Mhm.
you know. And for me, um, even as a Christian, I didn't give up secular music.
Right on.
So Maiden,
That is so refreshing
Dio,
to hear because so many Christians like once I became a Christian, it's the barriers up. Like I can't listen to this, and I'm so tired of hearing, especially in the extreme metal. Like, well, I loved Cannibal Corpse. What's going to replace it? Nothing. Nothing.
exactly,
Cannibal Corpse. I'm sorry, no Christian music is ever going to do or sound what they sound like. The
right.
closest you're going to get to, and Roger got mad at me at this one time because I was like, I love Vengeance and you guys change music, but I go the in my opinion the first like legitimate death metal Christian band was Mortification. They sounded
Hmm.
like something you would hear on Headbangers Ball. They were
Yeah, bro.
something you would see on Headbangers Ball.
Yeah.
They were a grind. They were a death metal band.
Hmm.
You know, and I'm not saying Vengeance wasn't great.
Right.
Roger was mad at me because he's like, "Well, what's your favorite album?" I go, released because you were going more grindcore at that time.
Right. Right.
I go, my least favorite was Once Dead because it was too bluesy for me. Like, and I appreciate it now, but as a kid, I wanted to scream.
Yeah, man.
When I walked away from Christianity and I was listening to more like Carcass and Bull Thrower and Obituary and that
Oh man, yeah.
that's the Napalm Death is the kings of extreme metal. Nobody will ever beat
Right,
them.
right.
Like
What about King Diamond? Were you ever into King
I
Diamond?
love King Diamond and Merciful Fate. I love them.
Dude, when they came out, I was like, who the frig is this man?
Yeah,
The band. I didn't like them singing that much,
yeah,
but his band, I was like, holy crap, these guys are freaking incredible, man.
yeah,
And I would listen to them because I loved the band.
yeah,
You know, I wasn't listening to the message or,
yeah.
you know, and again, you know, God can use music as a tool.
Mhm.
obviously,
Totally.
but there is such a thing as entertainment through music. Not every genre of music, every style, not everybody has an agenda.
Mhm.
People, a lot of bands write songs that from the heart, what they feel, whatever it is they're feeling.
Yeah.
And it's music, and if it's going to make you feel a certain way and it's going to affect you, enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
It's not, if it's not causing you to want to totally blaspheme the Lord or go out and murder somebody or whatever,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. You have a few freaks that will listen to a song and
Mhm.
commit suicide or
Yeah.
go
And they're unfair.
shoot them.
Something would have driven them to that anyway. It wasn't,
Exactly, exactly.
they
But
had
you
already
have
had
those,
deeper
but you have those same extremes in Christian music too.
problems.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, if I enjoy a band, I'm going to listen to it because
Yeah.
I love the music.
Well, I say this all the time. I don't believe in God the same way I don't believe in the devil. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't listen to that because it's too Behemoth. Have you heard Behemoth?
I can't say I have.
They are awesome. They are the guy is a I'm not going to say a Satanist because Satanism doesn't believe in a devil. They're more an atheist thing. They're very occult, very
Mm.
occult, but they are fucking fantastic. But I can listen to that record and hear the beauty in the music and be like, because he does. There's a song that they do called "Oh Satan" or "Oh Brother," "Oh Father," and it's like orchestratic and it's beautiful, but heavy at the same time. I can listen to that and not be like, the demons are coming into my house. I can't hear it. You know what I mean? Like it's just a song, and this guy's spouting the same kind of, he's saying what he believes the same way a Christian band is.
Yeah. You ever heard of Sleep Token?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How about the president? Have you
Oh
heard that,
no, I haven't yet.
dude?
No, but Sleep Token are awesome. Another
It's
band that
boring out
everybody
here.
freaked out of,
Yeah.
Ghost. Ghost are
Oh
so
yeah, dude.
good.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I saw
Yeah.
them open
Here's
up
a
for Nate 3-4 years ago.
dude. I'm getting
Best show
goosebumps.
I've ever seen.
Oh, I bet. I
And I've
bet.
never seen Maiden before, so it was my first time seeing Ghost and Maiden.
Oh, wow. How long ago was that?
4 or 5 years ago,
Wow.
6 years ago.
And Maiden's still crushing it,
Oh,
man. Oh my
the changes,
gosh.
the different sets they changed, and Bruce is running around, and I'm like,
Yeah,
he's like
dude.
70 years old. He is
And
still
still
just,
has the voice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Christian's just like, dude, get over it, man. You can listen.
Yeah.
You're so picky on the Christian music, but what kind of movies are you watching? What kind of TV shows are you watching?
There you go.
You know,
What's on your search history on
yeah.
your
What's
phone?
on your browser?
I
Homer?
heard I heard Pastor Bob say this recently. He has these little 2 or 3 minute things that he posts almost every day.
Mhm.
And he said one the other day, and I was like, blew my mind, but yet it makes sense. He
Right.
said 80% of Christians deal with pornography.
Sure.
80%. I was like, 80%. If you think about 100 Christians, 80 of them are you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. But there's so many things that we have in our closets that you're going to have that in your closet, but yet you're going to judge a movie or a song or, you know what I'm saying? So,
Or what somebody
yeah,
says, or an article, or that. You know. You
that's
know.
it.
I mean, and my thing is, I just don't think the Christians have found a way to profit off pornography. Otherwise, they would have. You know what I mean? Like seriously, I mean, there's Christian death metal, Christian grindcore, Christian, I just on Facebook the other day it popped up like it's a Christian centric life what's insurance and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Everybody was like, well, what about Christian cigarettes? What about Christian beer? Christian wine? Christian porn? You know what I mean? It can be in a way where, like, you show the young people that haven't had sex, like in a tasteful way, like this is what men and women do. You know what I mean? Like, like a '50s how-to guide or something.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
I just think, if the Christians could figure out a way to make money off of it, they wouldn't talk shit on it. They'd be like, oh, okay, you know. That's just my method.
Oh, yeah, I know. I get it, man. It's funny.
Well, it's like,
Dude, it is pouring out here. It's so funny. Can you hear
really?
that?
No, man, I'm in Kansas, brother.
No. Yeah, Tornado Alley, right?
No, seriously, seriously. Well, it's like my parents moved around a lot. My dad just was a nomad. But I was born in Kansas, and then when I was 6, we moved to Ventura, and then we moved to Colorado Springs for a while. Then we moved a lot when I was a kid. But when we were in the Springs, our pastor was Ted Haggard. You know who he is?
Ted Haggard sounds very familiar.
He was about 10, 12, maybe 15 years ago. He was that high ranking minister that got busted in the homosexual meth.
Oh yeah,
He was our pastor. You know what I
wow,
mean? Yeah.
wow.
And it was just, for me, it just really sucked how quickly the church turned on him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They kicked him out. They exiled him. On If you have HBO Max, there's a really good documentary about him called the Trials of Ted Haggard, and it goes through what, after the church kicked him out of Colorado, and they were gone for 2 years.
Oh, all right.
And
I'll check that out. I want to check it out.
it's a great documentary, but it's also so sad because it's like, man, okay, in their eyes you sinned, in my eyes you lied. You shouldn't have been a liar about what you were, what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
You should have never. I mean, at the point in time before he got busted, he was the spiritual advisor to George W. Bush. He was the
Oh,
leader
wow.
of the evangelical commission that had like 300 million people in it or something like that. Yeah, I mean, he had breakfast with the president like almost every day over Skype.
Wow.
Which is too much power for any religion to have.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Trials of Ted Haggard. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
yeah, check it out. And they kicked him out, and like he was selling insurance, and I mean, it was a rough time for him and his family. And it's like, well, what about embracing him and saying, okay, maybe you can't be our pastor anymore, but why don't we just love you as a human being and just and treat you like we would want to be treated? But now it's like they wanted to kill him, bury him,
Crucify. Yeah. It's unfortunate because you know what? As a Christian, you look at that and you say there's no sin hidden from God.
Yeah.
What if God did to us? What if he said, what's your sin? Oh, you're dealing with this. All right, you're kicked out. I'm going to crucify you. Da, da, da. Where does the mercy come in?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to have mercy in everything because nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody. We're all sinners. We're born sinners. We're going to die sinners. But you try. You do your best.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have to take a brother who's fallen or hurting, or Christian or not.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm struggling with this or that. Well, come on, man. Let me hug you. Let me love on you. Let's get through this. Instead, everybody wants to crucify. And it's like, man, I thank God that he's not like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people look at him as that kind of a God. Mm-hmm. Oh, you sin, you're going to burn in hell. It's over for you, pal. Yeah. He does have mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's man, bro.
No, it just, and that's what I think that religion just divides people so much. I can't say the right words because I'm not saying that there's not an advantage of having hope, of having some faith that I think there's something out there. I don't know what it is. I can't say I definitively know what's going to happen. I don't know what the universe has planned for me. I think there's got to be something else.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't tell you what it is.
Right.
And, we all will take that final chapter and that final journey. And we'll know, or we won't know. Either way. Right. What I think that what's important is the time we spend with the people we have here and do the best we can for each other here.
Yeah.
And and that's where I just don't see the church doing it. I see that they take care of themselves and taking care of, the big parking lots and, the congregations. I mean, we were a poor family growing up, and we were poor, you know what I mean? And it always bothered me. Like, my dad giving money on Sundays. I was like, man, we could use that for this or for that, or, I need a new pair of shoes, but I can't have it because we can't afford it. But, why does God need my money when he is omnipotent and omnipresent and all powerful?
Was the cattle on 1,000 hills? And
they're just, and again, this is, if it's not God, it's definitely man. Definitely. And it's the greed of man that they want to control you.
Yeah.
I think if we get rid of that, get rid of the men And if we were to maybe just focus on faith and the word, things could be completely different for even people like me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure, man. For sure. And it's unfortunate because that kind of thing is what turns off so many people
Yeah.
to Christianity and God. And how can I live in for a God that is going to have me burn in hell and this and that, and I'm going
Yeah.
to do my best, and but it's not like that. It's like I said, it's a corrupted view
Mhm.
of what the scriptures say.
Well,
You know,
yeah. And it's definitely, I mean, Revelations wasn't even put in the Bible until the 1700s. I mean, it's a late book,
right,
and
right, yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's where I always, always say this, and I say it snarky, but in a fun way to Christians. I'm like, how can you talk about Satan being the worst thing ever? We're in the Bible. He's killed nobody, but God just killed thousands of people. You know, it's like you're gonna blame this little snaky guy for every bad thing, and he's the master of lies and deceit and death and hell, but
yeah,
God's killed a shit ton of people in the Bible, man.
yeah,
He killed one.
yeah, man,
You
yeah,
know, and with these conversations, you know, when I was talking to Dale from Bride, he's a universalist, which I'd never heard of,
right,
and he explained it to me, and I'm like, that's honestly something I could probably get down with if I believe, because it's pure and simple and about love, you know,
right,
you know,
right,
and if I make a point where Christians like, oh, that makes sense too, and I'm not trying to convert anybody. It's your life. I don't care what you do. I just like having
yeah,
conversations. You know, and
yeah. Just like you said, you're not looking for anyone's approval. You just
no, and I'm not
right,
expecting to change your mind, and I know you're not
right,
expecting to change my mind.
right,
I
right.
think if we learn as people where people have two different ideas and still come together, have
Yeah.
conversations, and make something work for each other, we're going to be in a much better place.
I'm a construction manager for the past so many years, and I'm over a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have to believe what I believe
Yeah,
in order to do what I ask them to do,
yeah, to
you
do
know,
their job.
to do their job. However, I do make it a point to I don't sit there and preach to people all day long,
Yeah,
contrary to popular belief. I don't do that. I'm just me.
okay.
And people see something in me. They're like, dude, that right there, that would have pissed me off so much. I would have went off on that dude. Da, da, da. I'm
Yeah,
like, you know what? Hold on a second. Hi, baby. You taking the dog out? My wife's taking the dog
nice.
out. So and I'm like, oh no, it pissed me off. Trust me, I got really mad.
Yeah,
But I just deal with it differently than you do.
yeah,
And I say that because I say this. I have learned for myself, my beliefs, my strengths, whatever I deal with, my weaknesses, whatever, I don't let any of my situations change who I am. You know what I'm saying? I get mad. I cuss once in a while.
yeah.
Am I going to hell for that? No, I'm not. I'm not. And I try to be me no matter what. But what I do try to do is I try not to waver in my belief.
Totally.
And you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's why I can sit here and have a conversation with you because, like you said, you're not trying to sway me. I'm not trying to sway you.
yeah,
People who know me know what I'm all about. People who know you know what you're about.
mhm.
Now we are now friends,
Yeah,
and we will be remaining friends,
yeah.
and
Which is weird.
nothing changes.
I've made more Christian friends this last 2 years doing this show than I
Yeah,
like secular friends in the real world. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, man, I hang out with too many Christians. I got to see
yeah,
Glenn Benton on the show from DSI. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Another one of my favorite. Well, this is something that I want to read about today. I guess there's a big scandal going on with Singer from the Newsboys that I guess yeah, I guess it's because I guess I'd interviewed Steve Taylor a few months ago, which I'm a
Mhm.
huge Steve Taylor fan. Love Steve Taylor,
Yep, yep.
and I guess he was. I guess Newsboys. Their last few records were on one of his labels or something. But I guess the all I've heard is the Christian comments of it is this guy Michael Trate or something like that. He's the black singer in Newsboys. Was
Mhm.
I guess he's homosexual, and I guess he's been having throughout the years on tours. He was having encounters with fans, homosexual.
Right.
They're calling it kind of like Michael uh, Weinstein, kind of predatory. But
Oh wow.
I'm not going to judge the guy till I read what's happening because
Sure.
Christians like to pull the homosexual card and get it, and want to crucify it real fast.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that's something I want to delve to. And I mean, I would love to have him on the show and get him, and not in a judge way, just like, man, why do you feel you have to hide? Like, be you, right? I'm gonna be me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And, and if you still love God, man, even better, have fun with it.
Yeah, man.
I think that, we all have skeletons in our closets. We should just
Yep.
do. I'm not saying everything out there, but
Could you give me some ice water? Please?
at least be open and as humans and be like, this is who I am, and Jesus still will love me no matter who I am.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's it. That's it. I had that conversation with Todd that we can be our own person. We don't have to try to, and we can remain friends.
Yeah.
I bring him up a lot because he was the first atheist I ever met.
Mm-hmm.
And he's such a great guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just told him, I said, dude, I don't even know what atheism is. Because as a Christian, I'm not studying atheism.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. That's not something you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not interested.
I'm not interested in that. Yeah, yeah. I'm more interested in music and football and you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on,
No, I hear you. Some of the cool because I actually have a really good friend who's they were a Chicago-based band. I mean, one of them is still there. Have you ever heard of the Crombies?
I have.
They're a ska band from there.
Yeah.
They're awesome, man. If you ever want to listen to the little guitar player Dave Simon, he's a
good buddy.
He had another band from Chicago. If you've never heard of them, they're broke up. They were Chicago-based. Deal's Gone Bad. If you like ska and rocksteady, and more like Motown soul, check them out. They're not a band anymore. They did 2 records with their second singer, which yeah, I love.
Really, Deal's Gone Bad.
The Subterranean's a great place to see a show. The Cobra Lounge is great. I love Wicker Park. Wicker Park's my area. Wicker Park's so much fun. Going around to all the record shops and whatnot. So,
man.
I've been to Chicago quite a few times, and it's a fun city.
It is. It is.
It's cold as hell in January.
I don't live there anymore.
Oh, that's right. You're in Tampa. That's right. Yeah.
The thing I love about here now is, I'm a boat owner. We're out on the water almost every weekend. We go to the beach, just. Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I've got, my backyard, a huge pool, a hot tub. Like I get home from work.
Oh yeah.
Grab a cold one, be like, oh, I'm going to relax for a little bit,
Yeah.
Great. It's super great, So other than, is Worldview doing any more records? Is Sacred Warrior plan on doing anything?
So Worldview, we're almost done with our second record.
Okay.
And bro, it is badass.
Cool.
It is really a great record. Being produced by Dino Elefante.
Okay. I know
Yep.
Yeah, he's still around.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Good guy. In fact, I'm getting ready to have him on a podcast, him and George, but he doesn't know. And I was just talking to John Elefante through someone else. I'm going to get him on my podcast too.
Right.
I'm going to try to play them against each other, But this Worldview record, bro, I don't know that you will like it, and I'll tell you why.
The first record, it's not that I didn't like it. I see talent where talent is there. It's just not my jam.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. This one, there's half the record is just good metal, but the other half is more, for lack of better terms, Journey-esque.
Ooh.
And people love Journey.
Steve Perry, brother.
Yeah, I know everybody does, right? But this record, it's a lot different, man. If you're expecting to hear a whole record of, you're not gonna.
Okay.
You're gonna hear half a record, then half a record of, and I'm always busting George's nuts. I'm like, so we got another ballad on this record? He's like, it's not a ballad, man. It's more just that kind of rock and roll. And if it's not metal, it's a ballad, George, is what I tell him, But they're great freaking songs, bro. When we get done, I'll send you a couple.
Yeah, please.
I'll send you the one that I'm saying is very Journey-esque.
Okay, cool.
And you're either gonna love it or you're gonna go.
It's Journey-esque, dude. I'm gonna love it because man, like,
okay, good.
Very like, Journey's one of. It's so weird. Like the older I've gotten, like I grew up hating like classic rock, like 38 Special, Rush, all that stuff, But the older I've gotten, I've actually Okay, man. Me and Jimmy have argued about this so many times. I hate Led Zeppelin. Will to this day. Hate them.
Put your hand up, bro.
Boom. Hate
Me
Led
too.
Zeppelin. I
Never
hate
was
Pink
Zeppelin
Floyd.
fan. Never.
Hate Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Can't stand
That, yeah.
them. I love the Who. The Who's awesome because the Who
Yes.
had a very punk, kind of
Yeah, dude.
not sound but just feel.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
hated the Doors. I hated that
Oh,
shit.
me too.
You know what I
Me
mean?
too.
If I'm listening to like really old, I want rock and roll. I want to listen to Jerry Lee Lewis. I want to listen to Elvis.
How
You know,
about Black Oak, Arkansas?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, I used to love them guys,
oh
man.
yeah. I want to listen to like good rock. I want to listen to Little Richard. That
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
Motown,
Montrose. I was in the Motown. Yeah.
any Motown. If you were to
Yeah.
look him up, he passed away a few years ago. He's a white boy from Austin called Nick Kieran and the Slumlords or Lowlifes. This dude sounds just like Little Richard, but he's a white dude.
Really?
Yes,
Nick
Nick Kieran and the Lowlifes.
Curing.
Oh, so good. Yeah, I love rock. I love rock and roll. Rock and roll, like just real rock and roll.
Yeah.
But all right, so if you had to, okay, give me your 5 top metal albums, secular and Christian. It's gonna be hard.
It is going to be hard. Of all time?
Yeah, your personal favorite, your top 5 personal favorite of Christian and secular.
Oh, well, I'm going to go. Obviously, Queensryche's not metal, but they're prog metal.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I would have to say My Crime,
Okay.
Queensryche. Um, Let me see. Christian. Let me go a Christian one. Um, well, this is a tough one, bro,
Yeah,
because there's so much out there.
there is.
Um, Maybe
And you can throw your own in there
I
too.
could. Yeah, yeah. Well, I will say Obsessions, our album Obsessions,
Mhm.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good record.
Yeah, yeah. Anything Maiden or Dio,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I never thought about putting a top five together, but I would say Maiden, Dio, Queensryche, Slipknot. I'm a
Okay.
huge Slipknot fan. I love Slipknot. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're good at what they do.
yeah, dude. Um, Let me see. Have you heard of Spirit Box?
Yeah.
Bro, look them up. They
Okay.
have this chick singer. Her name's Courtney,
Oh, you lost me. I don't like girl singers and metal.
but she's more.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm talking.
Okay.
That's what will interest you.
Okay.
Her and Ginger. You ever heard of Ginger?
Hmm.
Jinger.
Hmm.
Another one
Okay.
sings, and then
Okay. Yeah.
I just love that stuff. And
And I'm not a misogynist. I'm not, like girls in metal, especially like extreme metal, like you better bring it. Like if you want a girl vocalist that I love, Walls of Jericho.
oh yeah, of course, yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Candace
yeah,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, man,
He's
yeah.
actually one of my old vocalists, my other 2 bands, like one of his best friends. So we got to play with him.
Really?
Yeah. And Candace is like 5'1" and just like she could put on her hoodie, go down to the pit, and just wreck dudes. And like Candace was awesome. They were such a good
Wow,
band.
wow.
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
I'm not a misogynist. I like women vocalists, just in metal, I'm very picky.
yeah. Look up Slip. I'm Slipknot. Oh my gosh, Sleep. Uh,
Sleepbox?
Spirit Box,
Spirit Box. Okay.
Spirit Box, and Ginger,
Okay.
Jinger,
Oh,
and you will be a new fan, bro.
okay.
You will be a believer.
Cool.
Trust me.
All right. So give
And
me the Christian ones now. Top five.
Christian ones,
Okay.
always. Oh,
Middle. If it's a Keith Green record, go for it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, honestly, always been a big Deliverance fan.
Okay.
I love Deliverance, Vengeance fan.
Mhm.
Which albums? It's hard to say, but
Yeah.
I really love the first Recon record. Well, the only Recon album they ever put out, George
Yeah.
and them. It was only because my association with George and that,
Yeah.
and there's Striper and
Of course.
Believer, and believe it or
All those
not,
believers. Hell yes.
Believer, yeah, bro, yeah. I
Yep.
wore out that
Candy
record, man.
Obscure. Mwah. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I
wore that
dug
thing out.
Distractions from Morality, dug that one.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
man, Candy Obscure is just
yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and Living
No, it's
Sacrifice, man, their first three
oh
records
yeah, man.
before they went hardcore. Oh, like I
Yeah,
don't like their hardcore stuff, their new metal stuff, not at all.
yeah.
First three, when they there was another band, that was another band. Like when I first heard them, I was like, these guys sound like Slayer, you know.
Oh yeah.
And they were, that's the thing, granted skateboarding, man, there were so many few bands I could throw on with my friends that were not Christians, like the Crucifieds, for me, the top five pillars of humanity from the Crucifieds, number one. That
Hmm.
record is like Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power. There's nothing down.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Two would be Scrolls of the Megaloth by Mortification. Perfect record.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, mortification.
Perfect
Heck yeah. Yeah.
record. Believer would be probably five. Um, and it sucks, man. Because I mean, I love Jimmy and I love Roger, but I would put um, uh, uh, Tourniquet's their third record, Pathologic Ocular Distance.
Hmm. Yeah.
They're up there, and then I'd put Vengeance up there with Human Sacrifice because actually that was
Yeah.
a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You know,
sorry,
it's weird for me. As much as I'm great friends with Dale, I was never a big Bride fan.
yeah,
You know, right?
from like I explained to them, like they fit something at a time that worked because there wasn't
Right.
any options. And they were good at what they did. I dig what those records were. But by the time they got to like Snakes in the Playground, I just didn't.
Yeah, and he talks about that record all the time. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Every time I talk to Dale, he's talking about Snakes in the Playground. I mean,
It just by that time I did at that time I wasn't listening to Christian metal. I was listening to Slayer and to you know Obituary and Napalm
yeah,
and all that stuff. Megadeth,
yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of,
yeah,
that the Christian extreme realm was so small. I'd already eaten all that up and was looking for more.
yeah,
So
yeah. You're looking for dessert by then.
yeah, like honestly,
Yeah,
I'm like, now and it sucks because I mean on the Christian metal boards now, I mean there are some amazing Christian metal bands, but my thing is like I'm not a Christian, I don't care. So
right.
I want to listen to metal, I listen to what I like. So
Yeah, yeah.
like people are like check out this new band. I'm like if they don't sound like this, I'm not gonna care.
Right, right.
And there are
Yeah,
some amazing, like have you heard Cattle Decapitation? They're not Christian, but
I have.
oh yeah,
I have, dude.
Marcus.
One of that guys I work with, that's his favorite band.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Pungent Stance,
Never
Dismemberment,
heard him.
Bob,
Yeah.
love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, people are like,
You and Jimmy would get along great. He's into a lot of that weird stuff.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have know half those bands.
Really?
Brown, no, man. He's all like, and I love Jimmy, but
You know,
he's
he's
like,
a Bowie fan.
he's
You
not
know,
talking about Bowie and Floyd. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking care. I love Bowie. Don't get me wrong.
right. Yeah.
Floyd. I can't stand their shit.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, and that's always the thing. It's like I talk to these guys. I'm like, you guys we're doing extreme metal, but you don't know anything about extreme metal.
Right.
That came past your guys' albums.
Right. Yeah.
Me and Roger were first talking because he asked me to help him do another Vengeance record. So I was going to play bass because that's what I do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it never came to fruition because he was just too sick, and
All right.
but also it was 5 months of us arguing about sound because Nails. If you haven't heard the band Nails,
No.
check Nails out. Just NILS.
I'm
Nails.
writing all this crap down because I'm going to listen to it, bro.
So I would throw him, new bands, because he hadn't listened to metal in like 25 years.
Really?
Yeah, he hadn't.
What was he listening to?
I don't know, but it wasn't metal. And so he's like, I'm like, have you heard this band? And he's like, nope. So I'd send him stuff, and he'd be like, dude, that's awesome. Like I sent him Napalm, and within like a month, he had just devoured their whole catalog. He's like, I want to sound like Napalm. I'm like, cool, I can play that. And then
Yeah, man.
stuff like, I want to sound like Archangel. I'm like, that's technical. I'm not a technical player. I'm a fast, heavy player.
Have you heard? I don't know much about him, but I don't really know the genre, but I heard a song on the radio recently from a band named Glorf, GWORF or something like that.
Well, there's
And the guy
Gore.
dressed like Gore, yeah.
Gore, yeah. Oh yeah, Gore's awesome.
dude, I'm like, who are these guys, man? Like, I'm
You haven't
like,
heard
yeah.
Gore? Dude, look at
Well,
dude.
I did now.
Yeah, Gore's been around since like 87, 88.
For real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Dude, they had
gosh.
the stage costumes and their models.
Yeah.
Dude, Gore's
Ye-
awesome, man. I saw them when
Yeah.
I was like 17.
Really?
Oh
I
yeah,
thought they were a new band, bro.
no, they've been around forever. Their original singer, his stage costume name was Beefcake the Mighty. No, that was the bass player. But yeah, they all have like the gig is that they're a band from outer space that's come to take over the Earth.
Oh, wow.
Shit, the singer's name was uh, Maximus something. He passed away a few years ago, and so the story is the ship came and took him back because he wasn't producing right. So they brought in Beefcake the Mighty, their bass player.
Oh, shoot.
War's awesome, dude. There's so much
Uh,
like
no,
they're
I
literally
loved
saying,
it,
like
man, but I
you don't
thought
want to
they were
get
a
in
new
War's small
band.
bros because they throw
Wow.
blood and like you'll get sticky and gross.
Really?
Oh, War's awesome. Yeah,
Wow.
check out
That is that
War's
is great.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Ghost,
They're
Behemoth.
like the
Behemoth
Gallagher
too.
of music, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, but check out Behemoth as well.
How do you spell that?
Behemoth. Behemoth. Yeah. Yeah. They're, like I said, and they are serious occultists. I mean, if it makes you uncomfortable, I mean,
Mhm.
you don't have to check it out, but I mean, they believe in like the devil and they're an occultist band. They truly are.
Oh, right.
But their music is good. And like I said, I don't give a shit about, what they believe in. I think it's silly. You know what I mean? Like, and they're very serious about that. It's why
Oh,
I never got into black metal. You know what I mean?
right.
It's just too serious.
Yeah.
Like, Blackpink, I'm like, we're in the forest. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like,
Yeah.
you're in Norway. I get it. But that is the one style I always argue for everyone. You cannot have Christian black metal, and they call it unblack metal. You can't.
On black metal.
Yeah, you can't have it. Black metal was made specifically to sound evil and be satanic.
Oh,
That
right.
strictly, they played forbidden, ancient chords. The recordings, the demons that they were.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot have like. There's bands from Kansas City called White like Frost the Ashes or something. They have the white skeleton paint. They all look all satanic, but they're
Oh,
like you cannot rip that off, dude.
right.
This is a satanic fucking sound. You can't rip that off. Like,
Yeah.
you can have Christian grindcore and death metal and punk and hardcore. That's fine. You cannot have this. It doesn't.
Right.
Will not exist.
Yeah, it doesn't go together, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't have. It. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like crystal light, or like what was that back in the day? The Crystal Pepsi that was clear.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
work.
No.
Didn't work.
No. It's weird when you drinking something clear that has flavor to it. I can't.
Yeah, you're like, oh. Well, man, it was a great interview. I'm gonna let you go here in a minute, so I'm gonna get
All right, bro.
done. But I appreciate you doing the show, brother.
Yeah, man. Sorry it took so long to get on here. Yeah, for sure, man.
So I'm gonna
Sure.
let you any words of wisdom for the people out. Please like the page, like the show, subscribe. Come on, people, bring me up. Come on.
Yeah, man. Can
Check
I
out
put a
his
plug in?
podcast too.
That's what I was gonna say. Put a plug in for mine. It's called Is It Wrong Podcast with Rey Parra. And I interview a lot of artists, people from Ozzy and Whitesnake and just
Right.
all kinds of topics. We had one called "You Ate What?" Just fun stuff. But mainly, I would just thanks for having me on here, man, and for
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it.
when you approached me with this, I was like, yeah, you know what, I want to do this. I didn't know what to expect. It was a great conversation,
Yeah.
and that's what I like doing on my show, just having conversations.
Yep.
And any words of advice I can give to people that are watching this: be real and keep it real.
Yep.
Bottom line,
I
be
agree.
who you are.
Did you happen to pay or download or the last Aussie show the other night?
I watched a lot of it, but I didn't pay for it. I
Was
just
it good?
watching all these clips. Yeah, bro.
Really? Okay.
God, man, if you get a chance, here's the great thing about it. A lot of the behind the scenes stuff, Ozzy talking to people, and you just see this side of Ozzy that's like you and I, just his genuineness. And he's telling everybody, "Hey, God bless you, man. Hey, anything I can do for you, man." And just loving on people and being this, he's the Prince of Darkness, right?
Yeah.
But Ozzy is such a genuine, just a cool dude.
Nice.
I'll tell you a real quick story. When
Yeah.
when we were recording our first record, we were in Chicago and we had blocked out the studio for 3 months. And the guy
Wow.
that owns the studio came up one day and said, "Hey, I got it. You guys got to get out for a couple of days." And we're like, "Why?" And he's like, "Ozzy's coming in. He wants to record 2 songs." And we're
Nice.
like,
Yeah.
"Can
Cool.
we stick around and watch?" And he's like, "Well, maybe like kind of from the back."
Yeah.
And we did. We stuck around, and Bruce and Tony actually played "He Died for Ozzy" when we got to talk to him, and and Ozzy asked what we were doing, what kind of music, yada yada, yada. And then they played "He Died for Ozzy," and that's an effing good song, man. And he just really, you know how Ozzy is, and he just
That's
like,
cool.
yeah, it was really cool. But for us, it was like, yeah, we got kicked out because Ozzy was here. Come on.
Shout out Ozzy had to take our spot, you know.
Yeah,
I
that's
argue
right,
with
man.
this
That's
so
right.
many people. I'm more of a Dio Sabbath fan than I ever was an Ozzy Sabbath fan. I think
Yeah,
Dio just
I
I
agree.
Ronnie James Dio is, in my opinion, he's the best metal vocalist in metal.
Well, I agree. I love. Did you hear the cover that we did as Worldview?
No, which one did you do?
Bro, go on YouTube, look up "Don't Talk to Strangers." No, don't
Got
talk
it.
to. I mean, not don't. Yeah, don't talk to strangers.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
People listen to that. They're like, dude, Dio would be happy to hear you sing that. They said I sounded just like him.
Dude, that's so yeah, because I love Dio. Love Dio.
Then, so watch that video, listen to the song, and hit me up and let me know what you thought.
I will, brother.
All
Thank you
right,
so much
brother.
for doing the show, man. And man, hopefully, if you ever want to just text me and send me cool music and back and forth,
Yeah,
we'll do it,
yeah,
brother.
absolutely. We'll share numbers and stuff. I'll give you my personal number.
Definitely.
And
Tell
yeah, for
George,
sure, man.
tell George, we cool, we
Yeah,
good,
we cool. Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
good, George.
I want to bust George's cookies, man. You watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Jimmy just texted me too, so I'm gonna text him back and be like, "Dude, Ray was cool." I gotta say it. I'm gonna say it to the fans. Jimmy has been such a great catalyst. He's hooked me up with so many cool people to talk to. If it wasn't been for Jimmy, I wouldn't have had half the people that I've got to interview. So thanks, Jimmy. I love you. You're my brother. And
Yeah, man.
when I'm
Jim,
next in Vegas, drinks are on me again and dinner.
yeah. And remember, Jimmy, you got the voice. I got the looks. Come on.
Cool. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
You got it, man. Thanks, bro.
Have a good night, bro.
You too, man. Later.